ashamed of myself, not sharing all the necessities with other creatures. I used to think what they will do in this world, concrete world. So that's how my bird bath started. And this is a small pot which I started with. I used to fill a cup of water so that even small birds can come and perch. But I was waiting for 2 to 3 weeks and there was no activity at all. Suddenly one day I saw a dog coming and drinking. I was very happy because my intention was just to share the, at least water. So I was very happy to see dogs. Then I saw one day one crow coming and perching on the rim of the pot with a dried chapati. It used to dip in the water just like the way we do with tea and rusk. So it was nice to see it doing it, dipping in the water and enjoying the chapati piece. Then it started bathing in the water. It used to really drench. And I remembered my school days when a teacher asked the school kids about their favorite birds. Everyone was saying like peacock and egrets, bellaki. I said crow. I had the answer, but the whole class laughed at me. The reason was crow used to clean the surrounding area, and it used to look very neat. Even though it was black, it was really neat. It used to look. And one more point was like there is a saying called if the crow sings, not the call, that if it sings, you get guests at your house. So that was a nice thing for me to admire crow. Maybe that's the reason crow visited the first time to my bird bath. So I was kind of blessed with it. Then the journey started. Common myna started coming, and jungle myna. They used to really get wet. They used to empty the pot, taking bath for several minutes. Then rock pigeon came. Spotted dove started coming. Magpie robin used to really enjoy. 2 to 3 times a day it used to come. Then that was like bulbul, and I placed the small pot right in front of my kitchen window so that I can watch them whenever they come. Before, a few months before, when I placed it somewhere else, I couldn't see anything there coming and perching. I had no clue whether it's getting used or not. So I just changed the place. I kept it outside the kitchen window, and I started watching them. So slowly I started taking pictures, recording. So then my camera was the good old simple shoot and aim and shoot camera. So you can see the clarity. It was not at all visible. You can see this video actually. This is a kingfisher. When I started keeping bigger ponds, I left fishes to prevent mosquito breeding. And I thought this is coming for bathing. But by the time, when I saw a fish in the mouth, I knew that it's gulping guppies and mollies. So I stopped buying mollies, and I was interested in fishes. I kept mollies, guppies, kois and all. But when I saw him fishing and eating so many mollies in a single day, I stopped buying. But guppies were safe. I covered with all small plants like this. And this is a nice video. The cowcal takes bath in a particular style. Like it will come to the left of the rim, and it will walk on the rim, semicircle. Then it will come to this right side, and just see, it will swim in. The second round, you can see it's wet totally. Yeah, this is the usual pattern, how the cowcal bathes. Each bird is different, and each bird takes bath differently. That's what I started watching. And
Hi, Daddy.
Rock thresh, drinking water. We've got Bluetooth process. Small. So this is how I started adding more pots. For example, this one, the hanging pot where the squirrel is drinking water. Cinerus tit used to like it in the hanging one. It was scared to come down, I think, on the floor, and it used to get chased with the robins. So I shifted the pot. I brought one hanging pot, hang on the branch. Then I added more bigger pots with waters, guppies. But that one, the bigger birds like the bigger ponds. So you can see the kite sitting here. It was like a bathtub for him. He'll just jump into the pond and he'll cool himself in the really big pond. You can see. This is the pond, a few meters away from the window. So slowly I started adding, and I saw so many birds coming, but one thing that was missing was smaller birds. I could see so many birds really small in size. I couldn't make out which were they. Actually, bird identification, Dr. Shubha helped me a lot. He's the one who started helping me in identifying the birds. I met him in Hebal outing. From that day onwards, I started troubling him, sending all the pictures, asking for identification. And I used to wonder why the small birds were not visiting. I felt this is not safe for them. It's too deep for the small bird. And I was thinking what to do with, how to attract the really small birds. One day, just after the rain, I saw a tailor bird bathing on a leaf, where the water was collected on the leaf and it was taking bath, and I was amazed to see that. I was very happy. Then I thought, okay, I should do something like this. So that's when I introduced, these are all the small ponds you can see. This is a thing. When I hung it in the middle of the branch, Barbet didn't come. They were not coming that time. I used to wonder why. Slowly I added one big leaf creeper to the pot. Maybe it was easy for Barbet to camouflage himself. So then that's when they started coming. And from that day onwards, they were the common visitors to the bird bath, hanging one. They need more greenery next to the bird bath. That's what I felt. Drying himself. I placed a small pot inside the bigger one to give that height, little bit of height. I wanted to attract them to the bigger pond, so I tried this, but they used to enjoy it even the smaller pot as well. But he used to prefer the hanging one. You can see, spotted doves, I have never seen them really going in the water and getting wet. They used to just drink, sip the water. All other birds used to enjoy drenching themselves, but they never liked getting wet. So what I did is I started adding perching points in the bigger ponds, so that they can come even in the middle of the pond. They can sit, they can dip in. But that helped a lot. You can see monarch. Huh? Oh, okay. What it is showing? I don't know. Okay. Oh, okay, okay, thank you. I'm very poor in this. Shall I try now? Just playing the monarch takes bath, dip in the water. You can see this one. I tried keeping rock bricks in the middle of the pond, but that didn't help, and I couldn't see anyone coming and perching there. But this twigs, it really helped, bamboo twigs, and all the small birds started coming, visiting. Like
this is one small announcement.
I have put manure and mud half of the pot. Then I filled the remaining half part. I filled with water. So you can just press it in and stand. All juvenile single stit, 5-6 of them. So next I started putting water on the bushes. I had a small ixora bush with very few leaves, but I started putting water on the top. Then it helped to attract all the sunbirds, warblers, which were not visiting bird baths. So it really helped. That was a big, huge step for me to really identify the warblers. Even sunbirds I could see very closely. Warblers, even with the smaller leaves, wet leaves, they get attracted. They come, they enjoy the water. This is long-billed floating sunbird. Yeah. Actually, during winter, it was like 7:30 onwards till 9:30 they used to visit, and evenings like 3:30 to 4. But during summer they start coming early. Like I can hear them calling for the water. That's what I feel. They will come, call. They'll wake me up at 5:45. Especially this booted warbler used to come, and it used to start searching for water. Summer they usually prefer at 6:30, 7 between that time. and 12 o'clock, noon. 2-3 times they'll come and start searching. When I started doing this, wetting the leaves, I used to feel guilty of using water more. But even then, I used to recycle, reuse the kitchen water with the plants and all. So even then, for me, it was like I had to, use so much of water. But by then, just 5 years back, campus started a water recycling project. So we got extra connection, and I was like free of using the water. He's the one who taught me. So if you have a small bush, small plant in the balcony, just keep it wet, and you can surely see at least sunbirds and tailorbirds. Red-breasted female. Flower pecker, painting flower. How the baby. I never knew the purple drum sunbird has this blue patch on the back. With this video I could make out, I was really surprised to see those colors. Sorry. Maybe you have observed that blue on the back. No, that purplish blue. And when I started watering the bushes, this lower level bushes, all these small birds started coming. But I was wondering why the coppersmith, barbet and orioles and future starlings, they were not visiting the bird baths, neither the bushes. Then I saw in the Jubilee, we have a Jubilee garden area in the campus, and in winter with the fog, mist, I saw them bathing on the acacia leaves early morning. So what I did is I have planted one small mulberry bush, and that grew into a big kind of tree. So I started watering that leaves. Then I saw these coppersmith, barbet and orioles visiting. The radio background music in the kitchen. And here are all sorts of sounds, cooking, frying. This is the mulberry that attracted all the starlings. Then I tried with the sprinklers. And I placed one sprinkler because I had enough water, recycling water. So I thought I'll try with the sprinklers. Even the sprinklers, almost all the birds started liking it. From forest wagtail, even warblers came down all the way on the floor to have water. They started coming down, sitting and getting wet. The green warbler.